Hello and welcome to the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network special interview. Very excited because joining me today is a gentleman who had a huge win over Rich Swann last Friday at Hard to Kill Falls Count Anywhere match. He's established himself as one of the top stars in Impact Wrestling right now. Very happy to welcome to the show, Steve Maclin. Steve, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me on here, and it's good to just sit here and talk wrestling.
Hey, my pleasure. But before we start talking wrestling, I got to say I'm a fellow Giants fan, and
There we go.
yeah, there we go, man.
I'm repping
Uh,
it.
how bad are they going to beat the Eagles on Saturday?
I'm just like I don't have any outlook, like just like going into the season, and have any outlook like of positivity going into it, and I'm just surprised, and it's fun to be a Giants fan right now,
Uh,
with the atmosphere that the ball and Danny Dimes has had and Saquon. I'm curious how the offseason is going to go with getting them back. I'm sure they will be back because I've liked Daniel Jones since they signed him, and I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I'm enjoying it.
all right. Prediction 21-14 Giants win on Saturday. That's my
That's
prediction.
actually, yeah. NFC East games usually end up in a field goal to a touch. They're usually a one-score game. So,
All right. Well, that's gonna happen, man. And when it
all
happens,
right,
I'll tag you. We'll celebrate together on Twitter on Saturday.
all
But
right.
let's get into Hard to Kill. How are you feeling after that war with Rich Swann? That was a brutal match.
Yeah, a little beat up, some bumps and bruises, but obviously I made it through and I'm beating another former world champion in Rich Swann, and kudos to him for being a tough pound for pound of what he is and how just for how athletic he is and what he can do in that ring. It meant a lot having that match with him just because we both grew up loving that backyard, that attitude era, backstage brawling type atmosphere, and it felt good to win that match.
That was a great match. I really enjoyed that one. I thought you were going to take it into the street for a second there. You guys were outside, but no, great stuff. But you knew you were going to take some heavy bumps in that match or some hard bumps. How do you mentally prepare for something like that?
You just do it. You know what you're getting into, and it's just okay, cool. I'll be home in a couple of days to sleep it off for a day and recover and get
Okay.
right back to work. And here we are going into New Year's Revolution in Kissimmee, and we're right back on the road. So just one day at a time.
There you go. So after that big win, the question remains, when do you get a title shot against Josh Alexander?
It's not up to me. Obviously, it hasn't been. I should have had a shot a long time ago after beating all these former world champions, and the list keeps adding up. And I guess once there isn't any more, that'll be my shot. I guess.
I know you and Josh were going back and forth a little bit on Twitter. Do you think he's ducking you? Would you say he's ducking
No, I
you?
don't think he's ducking me.
Okay.
I know he had the open challenge and all that, but there was a lot of things behind the scenes people don't know about that was stopping me from going out there to answer these calls. And yeah, I think that's the match we both want, and I think that's the match everybody does want.
Mhm.
You have two guys that feel that they're the best. You have one in Josh Alexander, who's the Impact World Champion and the longest reigning Impact World Champion in history. And then, so for me to go up against him, whether it be No Surrender or even at Rebellion, those are the next few pay-per-views coming up, and those are the marquees. But I think Rebellion would be one of those ones I would have my eye on just because it's in Toronto. It's in his
Mhm.
home country of Canada, and be fun to stick it to all those Canadians by taking the title off the longest reigning champion.
Okay. Well, I got tickets to Sacrifice, so maybe you could do it in Windsor, Ontario.
Maybe, yes.
Okay. All right. All right. So, what can the fans expect when you finally do get in the ring with Josh Alexander?
Like I said, you have two of the best in the company, and he's the champion, and I feel I'm the best that there is in this company right now, outside of being champion. And that's the one thing that I think has eluded me is getting that match. And for what Josh has gone through to having that title and retaining that title to be the longest reigning champion, and for what I've been doing and this path that I'm on of beating all these former world champions with Barbed Wire Massacre, there's
Yeah.
no falls count anywhere, and just the way these past 2 years have gone for myself, it's been a fun journey, and to end at that world title would be the way to go out with it too.
So, what would it mean to you knowing that? What would it mean to you to be the one to dethrone Josh Alexander, being that he's held the title longer than anybody? What it would mean to you? What would it mean to you to be the one to defeat him?
Well, that would be the one thing is being the one known that beat him, the longest reigning Impact World Champion of all time. He'll have that record for being the longest reigning world champion of all time, but my name will be also with him just by being the one to dethrone him.
Well, Santino Marella is the new director of authority. Do you think he'll be the one to grant you that title shot?
Who knows? Scott D'Amore didn't do it for the past 6 to 7 months, so we'll see how it goes.
All right. Well, back in January, you suffered a loss to Jonathan Gresham. Now that he's back in Impact full time, is that a loss you're looking to avenge?
If it comes to it, obviously he's got to work his way up the ranks, just like I have, and we're all vying for a title. And he's one of the best tactical wrestlers in the world, if not the best tactical wrestler in the world. And to get that rematch would be fun, but we'll see.
That'd be a great rematch. Hopefully, we'll get that soon. Could we see you and Deonna Purrazzo against Jonathan Gresham and Jordynne Grace? That would be an interesting match.
That would be a fun match, and if that was to happen, so be it. But if the storyline fits, that's where it kind of works out. If that was to happen.
So, which Impact moment of 2022 are you most proud of?
Just the year as a whole. I really got to show the world who I am and the body of work that I know I can bring. I went from people saying, "Oh, he's just this kept secret of where did this guy come from," or he was a nobody that's now kind of turning into a somebody. And it's like, no, I've been here this way this whole time. I'm just proving my worth and what I know I am.
Do you consider yourself? I consider you one of the top stars of Impact Wrestling right now. Do you feel that you are, without a doubt, one of the top stars, if not the top star in Impact Wrestling right now?
No, I just kind of try to keep my body of work the way I want to. If fans perceive me that way, or like you perceive me that way, then so be it. That's the best part about it, is everybody can pick who they want to be their top star. That's the world of pro wrestling. And if I'm somebody's top star in their eyes, then I guess I'm doing my job right.
Well, I definitely think you're definitely one of the top stars, and I hope you get that match with Josh Alexander soon. That's going to be an absolutely fantastic match when it finally does happen. Are you thinking Full Metal Mayhem? I know that's a brutal match. Would you do something like that with Josh Alexander?
I would do anything in the pro
Okay.
wrestling world, just because it's the fun part of our job is being able to create and have these moments. And watching some of the bumps they took, especially with the tax, and him and Bully, just they went after it, and it was for the
Yeah.
title. And that's what the one thing that means the most in this business is the world title, especially in Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So this Thursday you have Dirty Dango. Your thoughts on Dango, and are you going to take any frustrations out on Dirty Dango on Thursday?
We'll see the frustrations that I do take out on him.
Okay.
I have a lot of respect for Dango for what he's done. Don't take heart. I know he's very dancy and comedic with what he does, but don't forget that he beat Chris Jericho at WrestleMania. He is as serious as in his point and where he wants to be, but he better not bring his dancing shoes.
Okay. So you won't be dancing then. There will be no
I
dancing
will
with
not
me,
be.
man.
No, there will be no
Okay.
dancing for me. The day I dance is the day I won the title. How about that?
Okay, okay. Well, Joe Hendry, maybe he'll make a dancing Steve Maclin video
No,
then.
thank you. No,
Okay,
don't believe in that guy.
okay, okay. Well, we'll leave him alone then. We won't talk about him. So if you were to start a faction in Impact Wrestling, I know Bully Ray, with Jason Hotch and John Schuyler, if you were to start a faction in Impact Wrestling, who would be the first two talents you would recruit for that faction?
Right now, I've been asked this a few times. I don't
Yeah.
my mind on a group. Obviously, I've had a bad run of luck with groups, and
Okay,
I'm kind of running solo on my end. But the only way I would have anybody in a faction with me would be my tag partner in Wesley Blake or Weston
okay,
Blake. If he was to
okay.
come in, that's the only way.
Okay, there you go. I think that would be great, a great tag team. Would you Motor City Machine Guns against you and Wesley Blake? That would be an absolutely fantastic match, and hopefully we'll see that really, really soon in Impact Wrestling. That you just got me excited when you said Wesley Blake. So, do you think you guys would go after the tag team titles immediately if he came in?
I don't know. That be have to he'd be have to be brought in at first. Obviously, the
Okay.
first things first, and then but we'd again work our way up the ranks.
Okay, there you go. Does the X Division Championship mean anything to you anymore, or just strictly the world title right now?
Right now, my eyes are on the world title. Yes, the X Division is a title within the company that I do wish I could that eluded me, I should say.
Okay.
Maybe one day go back after it, but right now the world title is in my eyes, and I think I've earned that shot right now.
All right. When your career winds down, I know it's not going to wind down for quite some time, but when it does wind down, what do you want to be remembered by, or
Just the
remembered
body
for?
of work that I've put out there, and
Okay.
to be able to make fans believe in what I've put out there, and just kind of suspend that disbelief and understand the stories that I'm in, and appreciate the body of work that has been laid out there. And then, yeah, I don't know when that's going to be, but
Okay. Yeah.
who
Hopefully
knows?
not. Hopefully not for a long, long time. Impact Wrestling going to be in Orlando, January 20th, 21st. What do you have in store for Orlando, Florida? at New Year's Revolution, and then the fallout?
Well, being a kid from Jersey, this is kind of my new hometown here in Orlando, so it's kind of
Okay.
nice to be pretty close to the venue.
Okay.
But what they have to see is Impact Wrestling's on the marquee. No matches have been announced yet, but Impact Wrestling is the hottest brand on the market right now. I don't know if people realize that, but I know it because it shows within the locker room and what obviously at Hard to Kill. So yeah, Impact Wrestling's on that marquee, and when you see that, you just gotta know that you're getting the best pro wrestling out there.
It had to be a great feeling for the entire locker room that Hard to Kill was sold out, and there were many fans were turned away. They wanted to get in, but they weren't able to. So it had to be a great feeling for the Impact Wrestling locker room.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. Is it a bad feeling as well for fans to be turned away? Because you don't want to turn any fans away, but it's also a good thing knowing we're a hot ticket in the town right now. So that just means you got to get your tickets a lot quicker, and you can do that at impacttickets.com or Impact Wrestling tickets.com. And yeah, get on out to a show, and if you get turned away, come to the next one.
Yeah, I think maybe it's time for Impact Wrestling to get to bigger arenas than that. Maybe,
maybe.
Okay.
Maybe we'll see. We're working to that path, but right now it's selling out these buildings we have is the goal, and if we can have a sellout crowd every time we're out there, then that'll get to it.
All right. So last question, and I'll let you go. What do you hope to have accomplished by the end of 2023? I'm thinking being the Impact Wrestling World Champion, but I'll let you answer that.
Being the Impact World Wrestling Champion is my number one goal, and to have that around my waist and to solidify myself and not be forgotten in the world of professional wrestling, will have my name in Impact history will be great.
All right. Well, Steve, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Absolute pleasure talking to you. Let's go Giants. They're going to win on Saturday. Guaranteed. I don't want to guarantee. Well, I'm not
guarantee.
I'm not guaranteeing it. I'm not going to guarantee it, but I have a feeling they'll win. I'll be rooting for them, and I'll be rooting for you. Hopefully you get that title shot with Josh Alexander soon, and I wish you nothing but the best of luck. Hopefully we could do this again real soon.
Awesome. Thank you for having me again. And if nobody follows me, follow me at Steve Maclin on Impact or at Steve Maclin on Twitter and on Instagram. Shop Impact Deals, Steve Maclin Store, and Pro Wrestling Tees, Steve Maclin Store as well.
All right. Awesome. Steve, have a great rest of the day. And again, I hope we can do this again real soon.
No, thank you very much.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.